You're off.
Hello everyone, my name is Marwan Badra. I'm the process leader in the interior trim area in the leather shop, where we cover all of the interior for all models within Rolls-Royce Motor Cars. Thanks for joining me. I'm going to try to explain about an improvement workshop we carried out within the area, and what was the current state and what was the future state, etc. We start from the current state. It is about the door area, utilization or productivity within the workplace. The reason behind all of this is the volume uplift. It went from 20 cars to 26 cars. That's forced us to carry out some improvement activities and methods and techniques, etc., to ensure our productivity is utilized within the company standard range. So we started from here. We started with the volume uplift. As you can see, is a basic graph about what the volume was before and how it started to ramp up to reach the 26 units. A clear focus in mind is our work organization structure. Work organization is basically links to our VPS principle with a core value within Rolls-Royce Motor Cars. A standard way of method to do that is the DMAIC approach. The color on this graph represent each of the DMAIC stage, from a define, measure, analyze, improve, and control, etc. So the color behind each one represent one of the stages. When we ramped up, was one of the things is what we call as a technique is a force field analysis. Basically, force field analysis is when we had a situation which is volume uplift, and you had a rejection from people in terms of we can't do this, we can't do that because we overtime, etc., etc. To carry out all of these observations, it was a good idea from my point of view and the work organization to focus on the associates. So the symbol here is the work organization symbol, the man in the middle is the associates. So getting them involved from the force field analysis, getting them involved into what exactly is happening within the works. What's the current state? Have a key point in mind was addressed to everyone is the zero waste. Elimination of the waste within the workplace is one of the VPS principles, is number one of the VPS principle. Obviously, bear in mind within that as well, we bear in mind the CRP ideas and CRP improvement. We're going to take in mind and capture all of that to celebrate success with the associate as well as. So the provision of tools and methods we were using is in industrial engineering methods. It is i.e. work study, i.e. chalk circle, which is document the process step within that and they highlight the team wins, the waste activity. Spaghetti diagram, it measures the motion, not only in one direction, but in both directions, back and from, and how long that associate travels. And obviously, what we did as well, we did an economic observation. So economic observation, the one we carried out, is basically about bending, stretching, twisting, etc. Just to understand not only the waste within the area, what the health and safety aspects to the associate themselves. So this is the kind of the tools and method we carried out. We started with the chalk circle. The chalk circle, so we observed a lamination process. The reason behind it, because when we started with the chalk circle itself, we found in the area which is that in the bottom corner, we found so many activities going back and from, so many ways in motion. So we thought, we've got a quick win there. Let's focus trying to understand exactly what's happening there. So we carried out the chalk circle activity. We recorded the process steps. And what we found is the associate, they traveled back and from to the laminator machine 4 times per each associate, and we've got 8 associates just covering doors alone. So we thought, okay, we've got a very good improvement opportunity here. Let's have a look at it. Then what also we observed is so many bending and twisting happening around this area, because you've got a trolley carries out a big jig to laminate the door. The jig itself is 100k, requires 2 people to push the trolley around the place to connect it into the laminator machine in order to laminate the door. The jigs is stored in what we call a shuttle rack area. So each time we've got a different model, we have to change the jig. So what we did is a big economic factor around it. Health and safety risk, if they drop the jig, economic factor, bending and twisting, etc. Not only that, is the changeover. So each cycle to put the jig on, it takes 180 seconds. To take it off again is 180 seconds. So this, when we did the SMED analysis in the sense of how long the changeover between one and another, and it was 360 seconds in total just to do one jig. That's per 2 associates, because it has to be 2-man operation. So we did the work study, we collected the data, and we highlighted exactly, we've got per associate, we've got a 520 economic point per day, 20 economic point per takt time. Takt time is 20 points. Waiting time per day is 52 minutes. That's basically where the other associate is waiting because the jig is changeover. Distance travel, that's back and from, is 624. That's per 1 associate per the whole day, per 26 takt. So that's the distance travel. Minute of working per day is the utilization, basically productivity of the people within that, is 230. Number process cycle per day is obviously, as I mentioned before, is 26 takts. As a process leader, our key matrix within our core task and core values is the quality, cost and delivery, reference QCD. Within that, that's what we measure within our process leader boards. So we took the data, we documented it within, because obviously all of that, the travel is a motion, is a cost. So we collected that data and then input it against these metrics. And what we clearly highlighted from our takt time, the associate is going over takt time. So when we forced for the analysis to start with, they rejected the idea, it was clearly highlighted then why, because they overtacked every time. Then collectively we did what we call a brainstorming activity, plan, do, check, act, with all of the team. And we tried to plan exactly, obviously with their input, their ideas, what we're going to do with all of these data we collected so far. So we got together, we did the plan, and then we thought, okay, the plan is to carry out a simulation of what the layout looks like and try to change it. To start with, the lamination machine and the trolley was kind of separate, away from the shuttle rack, so that's the distance you have to travel back and from. So the associate come up with the idea, what if the lamination machine in fixed position and the trolley itself acts as a bed in between the two, so there is no 2 people needed, elimination of 1. And the other thing, there is no risk to the associate because that bed is just, the jig slides out and in as in one direction. Eliminating all of the bending activities, eliminating the traveling from back and from to the shuttle rack. So we did that, we carried out the activity and we measured it. We did the choke circle activity and document all the process step within that, just to highlight exactly where we are. We did the economic observation again, and then we did the work study. And remarkably, we collected all of the data. That's the before. The after, the economic point dropped to 260, eliminating the bending activities in particular. The waiting time is still exactly the same because you've got to wait for the waiting time is the cycle time of what the lamination doing within that machine. And you've got the distance travel per day minimized to half, obviously eliminated. Utilization is improved by 50%, and number of process cycle days still 26. We measured looking at that value stream and looking at the Yamazumi, we measured it again, and then we managed to go beneath the line, beneath the tactile line, what required to do the 26 units per day. Celebrating success with the associate, that was quite a key. We went ahead with the planning team, revealing these data to them, they bought into it, and they managed to actually, we managed to implement it as an activity, as a layout, that helped with the economic, reducing the waste, etc., etc. And then what we did to celebrate further success, the associate wanted to do a further improvement. So what does the future looks like from Rolls-Royce point of view? What does the hypothetical layout they would like us to carry out, and as a company we would like to see? So we planned it out again together as a joint venture between the planning team, my associate, myself, etc. So we did the future layout. The current state of the leather shop is based on upstairs. So the hypothetical one we've done is based next to the assembly line downstairs. It feeds directly material coming in from logistic outside into the area, feeding directly through to assembly line to stations, eliminating the utilization of the lift up and down, what is currently happening. Currently material comes in, we have to use a big industrial lift to take the material up, the raw material, bring the finished goods into assembly, and that happens to 7 zones within another shop upstairs, and then again filled logistic stillages up, empty down. Each stack that lift will be used about 10 times up and down, with 6 associates currently in logistic, just carrying out the activity of transporting material between the downstairs to upstairs floor. So with the hypothetical, it'll be downstairs, feeding directly into the assembly line, eliminating the whole of the waste activity within transport. Currently I use 6 associates. What I did the cost benefit analysis on what exactly the current state is. So showing 6 associates for 5 years, what is the cost? Maintenance for the lift, I added that, so cost 1,500 per month, per year. I added that into it. And breakdown, I estimated only 1%. So it's £2,000 per year, and I added it all up. The cost is just under 1,970,000. And what I did for the future hypothetical layout, another cost saving analysis, because the now we don't need the 6 associates, we only need 1 associate just to transport the material. The material comes in and then straight into just deliver it to assembly. So I did all of the cost. No maintenance cost is still the same because they use pallet trucks, etc. So it's still maintenance cost, but there is no breakdown because there's no big lift involved. And the benefit was £810,000 over the 5 years period. So that's the future layout. Not only that, we did economic. So what's the economic factor? Because you've got 6 associates currently actually transporting material from downstairs to upstairs. So per associate, or per 6 associates for one cycle, there was 1,560 points per attack for 6 associates. That's before. With that, the current state. The hypothetical future state will be only 220 per 1 associate. Will be within the amber range, so we are good.
Excellent.
Any question?
I've got one question. That is a very good presentation. Numbers at the end are very compelling in what you put forward as your business case. It's only a general question, really, is to do with, I guess, the laminator must generate some heat.
Mm-hmm.
Therefore, when you move the laminator, is the environment still okay for the other operators around that laminator, or was that consideration taken into account?
The laminator was we moved only 90 degrees, so the laminator extract the heat into the atmosphere, into like a special box which is then directed into the atmosphere. They do.
There's an extractor above the laminator.
Extractor above the laminator.
Okay.
So the laminator was moved 90 degrees, but the extraction did not move at all. So it's still connected to the extraction exactly in the same way.
So there's no environment.
There's no environmental impact. It was exactly the same what it was before to what it is now.
Okay, thank you very much, and